Are men struggling and dying because they don't open up?
No. I don't think because
I think it's
wait,
there are 33 million men in, there's 33 men in the UK, yeah?
33 men in the UK?
33 million, almost 33 million men in the UK, yeah? 3% of us are black, so that's like what? Almost 2 million, yeah? There are slightly more women than men, so let's say there's just like in the 950 to a million number of black men in the UK. That's a rough estimate, yeah? What's the suicide rate? 5,000, I think, from 2017. I think from ONS or one of them suicide prevention websites. People say men should open up because the suicide rate is 4 times as higher. 5,000 compared to almost 1 million men. That's like what? That's less than 1%.
So what you're saying is there's no actual...
You're saying it's not a problem?
I'm not saying it's not a problem. I'm saying it's not as bad as we're making out to be.
Because it's being used. It's almost being used as a tool.
I'm not saying it's not.
It's almost being used as a
tool
weapon to say
you should open up
to me.
So what?
Well, let's be particular.
What's your resistance to that statement?
Opening up.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with open up, but also depends on personality. What am I opening up for? What do you want me to say? Furthermore,
are we speaking in a dating sense?
No, I mean any sense, general sense.
We are talking male to female, by the way.
Have you, as an individual, demonstrated to me that you are competent enough to deal with issues?
Because on a dating level, 100%, I'm 100% with you. Because I feel like
what do you mean?
I've been in a lot of situations where girls have been like, "Oh, I can't read you. Why are you so closed off?"
As if I'm a novel.
As if I'm a case study. And I think it also comes back from all the girls from back in the day. They love the roadman because they like to psychologically break down. He's nice to me, but they want to change everyone else. There's an aspect of I can control and manipulate your emotions and they are mine. There's no risk. I minimize the amount of risk that I'm in my interaction with you as a male, because I might have had bad interactions with you.
A lot of times when I
feel more protected.
A lot of times in my experience, when women are talking about you need to open up, it's almost like point system. It's almost like well, for you to prove that you
really like me,
you really like me, you love me, or whatever.
You started on this.
You need to open up, and I think the issue with that is you don't want me to open up because you want to, or because you can actually help. You want me to open up because it will make your conscience feel better. And then you have the issue of, and I've never fully comprehended this, and I can only speak from my circumstances. I don't know if other men have experienced this, where you open up to a girl about a situation which doesn't make you emotional necessarily, but it is an emotional situation. It just doesn't bring any emotions out.
Maybe 3 out of 10,
but it bugs her to the point that now you have to
console her about your problem.
Within open up, I think the reason why I'm an advocate of men being able to open up is just because I believe that as a human being, in an ideal scenario, you should be able to feel as comfortable as you want to. So I want there to be a space where man can, if they want to open up, and if it's in their best interest to open up. See what I'm saying? I'm somebody who doesn't quote unquote open up because I don't function that way. How I deal with things is like, maybe I might just want to hit a nigga and we bust joke, and then that makes me, it takes my mind off things, and I'm like, okay, cool, I've now recalibrated, I'm alright now.
Reduces the intensity.
Reduces the intensity because I'm now in an environment where it's positive, I'm laughing, I'm feeling, then I'm kind of remembering, no, what, life can be good, you know, like, we laugh, and you know what I'm saying? Whereas some people, they might actually need to be able to console somebody. My issue is that, which is interesting from, in the kind of the data's perspective, is that being able to open up has now become like a checklist in a list of character traits that on the dating app, which doesn't make sense, because for somebody to open up to you, especially I'm talking from an African perspective, I'm Nigerian. My dad's 55 or something like that. I've never seen him show weakness, and most of my boys are Caribbean or African, and they lived in the same households, so it's not like us showing vulnerability is not exactly innate to us. And then also a challenge, and then if you look at society, vulnerability kind of reduces your valuation as a man, especially in a dating game. And nobody wants to come into an auction devalued. You know what I'm saying?
But the devil's advocate in that, did I just remix? The devil's advocate in that would be what about people that would say you just you literally, the word you used was weakness when referring to opening up, and also, like, just to add on to it, a lot of people
you're making yourself vulnerable.
Yeah, but a lot of people would say that like I've heard recently that a lot of times people have equated the traits of generalized femininity to the traits of being a better human. So, for example, crying is you're not even just encouraged to cry more for your own sake. It's almost like, well, it makes you a better person.
It makes you a better person. Makes you more
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's become like a valuation metric.
However,
and my problem with this is that, especially you have to know your markets. Especially if it's like a black man who might be. I haven't got the statistics to prove this, but they might be, especially in our experiences, maybe less likely to quote unquote open up.
Yeah.
Surely you know this by now. If you're in your mid-20s, I would like to believe so. As a rational human being that's observant of your life around you, you should know this. But so let me finish. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you to be that entitled, that deluded, to believe that on initial interaction, this man should be able to open up to me? Who are you? No, who are you?
A dickhead.
Who are you? Like, for somebody to show something that is not innate to them, it's gonna take time. They're gonna have to trust you, and especially where I think you raised this on a girl, but so like, I've seen a girl talk about a man where this is what you said that she's moistened, like, he was being emotional, this and that. So why would you, as a rational person,
now expect me?
I'm now. Oh yeah, if you anything like open up to me, babe. Why would I do that? You moistened my man off.
Yeah, like,
literally 30 minutes ago.
You ever had conversations with girls and they're talking about exes or guys they've been with before, and they're like, yeah, but he was a waste man. He was crying on the phone, or he was this. Like, they'll say things that are emotional traits, and then later on be asking you to open up. It's like,
yeah, the goalposts are always moving.
Yeah, something I always think about is it's gonna sound mad, but especially in short-term relationships, I'll think to myself, what am I okay with walking away and leaving you with? Like, what side of me? Because if you're this chatty, what am I cool with bringing to you that I'm okay with you?
This is a thing that I'm seeing as well on the TL, where people are just big up Olani, because I think she's done really well for herself. But in terms of everyone's just out in their relationship business, like not even just relationship business. You'll be talking to a girl. I'm a conversationalist. I love conversations. You can have a few conversations. In their head, it's dating. You've been dating. In your head, we had a few conversations. And then next thing you know, those experiences are now
on social media,
part of a newsletter. And for me, I feel like
that's a newsletter. That's
we are, yeah, but we're living in a time where
like they're distributing to group chats, coming in with press statements.
Everyone's doing press releases. This is the point.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean, and I feel like the whole from a lot of it's disingenuous to me, because when I see when people say they, I'm talking about the other gender, right? So I'm talking about women now. From what I've seen, when they encouraging men to open up, and I'm seeing what the reason behind it, it's incredibly selfish.
It's 100%. To make themselves feel better.
And the thing is,
because like if you want something to open, you want somebody to, like, to me, if I want to open up to whoever it may be, it's because first of all, you've made me feel comfortable too. Secondly, I've ascertained your trust and competency, and you want me to tell you just so you can help me deal or solve whatever issue that I'm opening up to you about.
This is why,
not so you can feel closer to me, and that is selfish.
Yeah,
that is entitled, and that is insanity.
This is where my problem is. But for me, it's kind of like the biggest show of strength for my father that I ever had in my life was when he was quote unquote vulnerable with me. So it's been very minimal times, but those times have given me the most strength as a man, because I'm like, all right, you're human. Because I think growing up, we have this expectation of our parents, especially of the men, that they're like superheroes.
Yeah.
When they're present, especially.
This might be personal to people, but has anyone here seen their dad cry?
Yes, I have.
I've only seen once, and that's when he's.
I don't even cry myself.
Yeah, I don't cry myself, but the only time I saw dad cry is because his two parents died within 2 days of each other.
That's
the only time.
Distress.
Yeah,
I've never seen my dad shed a tear.
Yeah, and
I don't think it's bad if you cry either. I'm just not someone who cries.
I do feel like, I don't know the science behind this. There is a cathartic release behind crying. I don't cry regularly, but I do wish that I did more, because for me, it's very hard as a man to chart how I actually feel. I need to go to gym, and if I've gone, like, sometimes I go.
I think maybe it's because it's been translated and prescribed as something that is an expression that releases. So that's why, for example, you're saying you wish, because I've said it loads of times, like, I wish I cried more, because the way it's spoken about is as if to say once you cry you're free.
No, but when I have cried in the past, it does feel like, all right, I've got that out of my system in a way. Now there's many different ways to get emotional energy out of your system.
there's a lot of things that I think we're told are better for us and we're meant to do, but the only reason they're there is
evidence for it.
No, not even that. The only reason they're there is a result of the desire of the opposite sex. So, for example, if you're talking about opening up and crying or whatever, a lot of men.
Problem persists.
A lot of men don't cry because of the reaction we see from women. The results, so? And also the level of weakness that is connected to. So we see it as like, well, if you cry now, you can't protect.
I do definitely think women underestimate their power. In terms
100%. But then what happens is, so then it's confusing when years later, or not even years later, in the same year, the same day, you hear what, like, because if you was to ask, men and women are probably guilty for this. We see actions that we would normally say this action is negative. I don't like this, but you see that in our emotional reactions. So, for example, if you're watching a movie with a lady and it brings you to tears, like, she may not say you're a pussy, but she's thinking,
what's wrong with my man?
Yeah.
In the future, like on the voice, I was like, yeah, and he started crying. Like, the only bought a milkshake. Why is man crying? He's a dickhead.
Yeah.
People shouldn't be policing how you overtly express your emotion.
Positively or negatively.
No, if you're going to have an emotional response to something, no one should police how you respond.
Yeah, I think you can police it without doing it with words.
Just your reaction. And the thing is, not just policing it. There's a hierarchy of what's a desirable way to.
100%.
And that's only skewed to benefit women. Listen, if someone dies and I don't cry, it doesn't mean I'm not hurting. It just means I'm not overtly expressing that I don't cry.
And everyone's different.
But if I cry when Sasuke and Naruto fight in Naruto, then I cry, innit? But women will
I just want to let you know.
Cuss me, bro.
Have you ever cried at Naruto?
Fam? I felt
my mother's
I felt warm in my heart, bro.
It's not real, you know.
I know it's not real.
It's not real, bro.
Yeah, I'm here to police.
A man got a pencil and did it. A man got a pencil.
Toxic masculinity is entering.
Yeah, real talk. Hey, what's my crying
for? I'm bringing that in here. What are you?
Listen,
I
felt hello. My chest felt warm, bro.
Yo, get out of the conversation, bro.
Because Sharon Gunn and them, man, there. I never know if I'm Naruto.
Man, I'm saying,
no, but for me,
I cried at
but even.
Could I ask a question? So, sorry to cut you.
It's always me and you, man.
So just to make this conversation progressive, yeah. Myself, I personally don't cry, but I feel the same, if not a high level of, like, I'm able to get how I feel out through. Sometimes it might be writing. Even before I wrote, like that only started a few years ago, or even before I started writing. Sorry, it might have been listening to music, as random as it is. Laughing to this, football. There's certain things that to me get that tension out. So other than crying, because obviously there's people like watching. There's people watching that might be like, like, you don't cry. So how the hell do you get the tension? What do you all do?
Before I get to that, I want people to understand that if you actually love someone, you have loved ones. Part of your, in my opinion, part of your duty, if you want to be the best friend, the best family member, the best lover as possible, is to learn that person. So you need to learn truth. You need to learn the differences. So like, if someone really knows me, they know that I'm not a naturally expressive guy, but I might stop doing certain things, and you could tell, okay, cool, maybe he's not in that mood. Yeah. Or sometimes I could just tell you like, yo,
you can gauge it.
Yeah, but yeah, you could gauge it. Like certain people do. Certain people show love for certain things. I'm not one who's gonna be like, oh, I love you, babe. Put a picture on Instagram with hella flowers. Nah, I'll do something where I'll show acts of service. You know what I'm saying? Instead. So that's how you should know. I don't always have to necessarily say I love you, but I show I love you through this action. Where some people is through words. So I think it's very important to be able to ascertain these triggers,
love languages,
these signs, these love languages,
I'm
and
a big non-believer in that theory, by the way.
What, love languages?
Love languages.
Oh yeah, forget love languages, isn't it? But like, it's a very important thing to be able to ascertain.
There's more than one way to convey meaning.
And some people could show love, sadness in different ways.
And at the same time,
don't let TV gas you to feel like the mad
this way.
It has to be. If you don't show expressive, you're not sad. Sometimes I could be sad. Like, for example, both my mum's sisters, my aunties, and those are the only two. My mum's two sisters. She has, I think, 5. It's bare man, innit? She has 5 or 5 or 6. Her 2 sisters, 2 of them that's closer to her age, and her brother. Those are the only family members I really saw on mum's side. Like, like one of my mum's older sister, when she calls, sometimes I think it's my mum. Like they sound that same. And my other auntie, she's one who lived down the road from me, so I'm used to come to her house, smelling food. Her and my mum both loud, just talking. Do you know what I mean? They both died within like 6 months of each other. I was very, very sad about it, but I didn't cry. I didn't do no thread. I didn't go speak to somebody about it. No, I'm just saying that's just me though. That's how I handle it. But doesn't mean it didn't affect me. Like it'll more affect me like when I'm lying down. I'm just thinking like, oh, I remember when. Like even just going to the house. I remember after she died, going to the house. I'm like, I don't smell food. I don't hear auntie talking. Like, and that type of stuff hit me. But other people that might be more expressive. That don't mean that I don't care. So it's very. I get frustrated with some of like the women that I've dated across my life or my female friends. They're like, oh, but you don't really care though. So why don't I care? Because you don't say anything. So does that mean I don't say anything? Because I don't say anything now equates to I don't care. Of course, you gotta understand there's multiple outcomes for a reason. Like I could slap Nigo right now, yeah. Well, I'm not gonna slap her right now. But I'm saying, but it could, but like people might think it could be, oh, I'm just playing with him.
Or we could have had a bet.
We could have had a bet 2 years ago. Or it could be, oh, I remember when he said something mad and got on my nerves. Like there's multiple outcomes. Obviously, some outcomes are more likely depending on the scenario. But it's just when we talk. I don't get slapped. Yeah. But when we talk about dealing with like kind of alleviating our emotions. I want people watching this to understand that, especially men, it's likely that people will do it differently. So if you really give a toss about them, like you say you do, like you've been tweeting,
and deconstruct your beliefs about how things are handled, because you can learn someone, but at the same time still.
But I will say,
carrying your different.
100%. But I will say it's important that those expressions happen. No matter what your language is, it's important because there are people who are restricted and repressed.
Sorry, can we go back to
they always happen?
But there's healthy ways for it to happen and unhealthy ways for it to happen.
Policing how? What's unhealthy?
I can say for myself.
Yeah,
there's ways when I'm
for yourself.
I can say, but I can also no. But I'm saying for my friendship group, I can also give advice 100%. So based upon
how someone should express their emotions,
on how I would advise you to, based upon my experience.
But you wouldn't make it a mandate.
No, you can't make it a mandate.
I'm not the president. Things could be made a mandate just through your emotional reaction rather than what you say. For example, let's say you start crying over Naruto, yeah? I don't need to tell you that it is a dickhead thing. But I don't need to say it is a dickhead thing. Like, if you do that again, don't. But,
my chest felt hot, bro.
No,
when I watched that last battle, my chest felt hot in it.
Toxic masculinity. Just to deep knock.
You listen to some Future after this, get that toxic masculinity.
So people can do it in their reaction. So you might, let's say the TV's over there, we all watching. I ain't watching the.
You'll be like, this is it. You'll be like, this is dead.
But if you start crying, and I look at you, and I go,
the dead man there. Dead man.
I don't need to say much to you for you to know that.
Yeah, that would.
I don't accept this.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Literally, if you ever cried in front of me over Naruto, I better hear that you rolled out the day before and you got poked fat.
In terms of giving options,
in
terms of giving options, there's a quick one. I feel like for the young men that are growing up, our youngers,
express it the way you want to express it.
But also give them those options. So
okay,
give them options
how do everyone, like, just quickly, like, just list, don't explain nothing. How do you, again, me myself, I play football, I laugh, I listen to music, sometimes I write. That's how I deal with things rather than crying personally. What do you do? What do you do?
I've cried in the past, but it's rare.
Fair.
Give me an instance.
But yeah, music, gym.
I can't wait. Go on.
Music, gym, food. Hallelujah.
Man out here comfort eating, you know.
Do you know what I mean? I'm even gonna lie.
He only came to the talk. He came to the talk. That man with a Harden dance.
It's important.
Man came to the talk because he was going through something. He said, "What Nigo?"
Man said in the dark room eating the Harden dance because she left him on Reggie now. Bear Bryce in the background.
Comfort eating, you know. Man, I'm turning fully superior.
But cooking, more cooking than them.
You need a bit of toxic masculinity.
You said you're cooking to
listen, man, when you're gifted like that,
when you're
gifted,
man, I'm doing out Gordon Ramsay, you know.
Hey, listen.
Certain men don't open up.
No. But if you
this is toxic masculinity.
No, but what he's doing is he's experiencing a negative emotion and he's using that to be constructive.
Yeah, no, I rate that.
You know them ones.
But jokes have to fly. I'm sorry.
Even like watching.
That's another thing. Random, yeah. I literally, all my brethren know this. Yeah, if I'm going through something, you need to joke me about it.
Yeah.
I'm not talking joke me in general.
And look what you're doing there.
No, big
you're
man
increasing your levels of pleasure, so they are more than your levels of distress. You are coping.
Yeah, I'm good.
But
like,
people
my
don't recognise that.
And of course, sometimes the jokes might hurt when they get mad.
When they start to get a bit.
But
I know your Buka G's are
I'll tell you about a breakup. Why are you talking about my jeans?
That's gonna be jihadi G's in
Them ones, flary jeans and that trampoline things. But what man's saying is, yeah, my brethren's joke, because what it does at the same time, it helps me emotionally, is I deal with it. Like, you're telling me, even if it's behind jokes, let's say it's a breakup, right? I have to deal with the fact that the girl's going to be with someone else. From the day the breakup happened, I can count on Michael, Daniel, I can count on my friends to hit me up and be like, oh, so like, your girl, like, she's, you know what I'm saying? They'll say the madness. But it means I have to deal with it straight away. I can't, it's not going to burn me when I hear it 4 months later. Or if it's, bruv, even like for example, if it's death, none of my brethren will cuss the person that passed. But they may make a joke. For example, we've lost friends. They'll be like, if so and so was here, you know, he'd start his stories by saying, you know them ones, So next time I hear someone say, you know them ones, there, I'm not in bits. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like
exposed in small.
100%.
So
I'd like to reference that he said, "Don't explain." He just spent the last 3 minutes explaining.
Them ones. I'm gonna keep
He rated you, please.
Yeah, sorry, I had to do it. No, me is playing football. Being around my people who just make me laugh, kind of raise my spirits. Sometimes listening to music, might be a spa day if it's really a bit bad.
Hey, living.
But
So if you didn't get corn for spa day, but I got corn for cooking.
Yes.
Nah, you got to play.
Don't mind
that.
that.
What are you doing in the spa?
Don't mind
Do
that.
you know what I mean?
A young massage.
A young massage.
No, I've kept
man.
I need
man
to know.
vegan.
Are you in the sauna? Are you in the sauna?
Of course I'm in the sauna.
With a towel on your head and
not a towel on my head, bro. You don't try. I ain't got a wig, cause like, or if somebody who's like, if it's anger and somebody who's wronged me, like it's gonna sound very mad, yeah, but I envision all the ways I can inflict pain upon them, yeah, whether it be verbally or physically, and then
the toxic masculinity merchants are getting you out of here tonight.
And then I'm like, I thought, I'm like, yeah. Like sometimes I want to tell something about themselves, but I care about them too much.
More than fulfilling that.
Yeah. So then I tell you about myself in my head. I'm like, yeah, if they heard what I'm saying, then after I'm like, yeah, it's cool, you get me. So that's a bit psychotic, but
man, I'm walking back up to them with a smile. Hey,
yeah. What he said, I thought about punching you up three ways, but yeah,
that's how you dealt with it.
That's how I deal with it. But football's worship. I think recently I've been a lot more stressed
because of Man United.
Boy, let's not even get started on that.
Let's never talk about that.
Let's not even get into that one.
It's already hot.
Sanchez.
Yeah. Please. If I had the name Sanchez wakes up at night, you know. Sometimes I wake up and I see Sanchez kicking the ball off the pitch. No, but jokes aside,
that's a shock.
Yeah, but jokes aside, but like I realised I haven't been able to deal with things as good, and I've also stopped playing football. So sometimes I have like a lot of pent up tension. But obviously when I was young, just hit the park. Although not hit the park, hit like power league or goals, I just kick ball. So yeah, that's how I deal with things.
Oh wait, sorry, did you answer? What do you do other than crying at Naruto?
If I'm feeling mad, I don't know. If I'm upset or I'm feeling angry,
I'm upset.
Bruv, I'll just carry on with my life, but I accept that whatever's happened has happened.
Yeah, I think that's one of my
unless
things.
there's something that can be done about it.
I think one of my main things I've got to is rationalising it.
Yeah.
Is it that deep in the grand scheme of life? Like in a relationship,
will I care about this in 2 months' time?
In a relationship scenario, if it's like what she has said or done, apart from disrespect, because a man can never have disrespect, yeah. But anything else, yeah. Do it like, okay, cool. Is me raising it, her trying to justify it, which is gonna get me even more mad? Is that worth? Is that worth it? Or can I just internalize it, hate her for let's say 2 to 3 working days, and then keep it sliding.
Just process it.
Yeah, or sometimes, you know what I mean? Or even if it's work, friendship, life. Just because at the end of the day, yeah, I realised this when one of my youngers who lost his life, and he used to play for my football team like 3 years ago in Wembley. I always told the story that he went at a match on Saturday, and he went at training, and he missed. I think he might miss the next. No, he never misses a match ever. So Winston's like, hold on, wow, hey, my man wasn't here, and why is he not training? My brother's like, pull me aside, because he died, bro. Like Friday night, the night before the match, he got stabbed. And then I'm thinking, because these guys I'm at 25, 26, so I'm a lot more conscious and more intelligent about life and more aware of how life is. I'm like, hold on. So we're here training, busting jokes, practicing corners, and you right there?
Yeah, I'm trying to see what's going
on. Oh yeah, man's bringing food, bro. Like he's not bringing the burner.
Oh god.
Yeah, so like
star 9.
Yeah. So like I'm thinking, rah. So we're here training, practicing throw-ons, busting joke, going to play a match, but he's gone. That's why I realised that life
continues
on.
Yeah, facts.
Life moves on.
You don't need to discuss it, bruv. It's happened. We
sometimes,
know what's happened. We understand.
But some people want to discuss it.
That's how
by all means, power to them.
One thing we've got to make it clear is even though what we're saying, as Jay said, is everything we say isn't universal. So there are people,
and it's good to make that disclaimer because people will listen to you and they'll assume you're saying no man should.
So the quote.
No, I can't lie. I'm personally saying no man should be comfort eating.
I can't lie. That's a bit mad. You're not even comfort eating. You're comfort cooking.
No, but let me clarify.
No, cooking's alright.
Let me clarify.
If you're making cakes with an apron,
no, it's not a cake. It's not a cake.
With a little white hat that goes like that.
You man are doing better imagery. Let me clarify. Essentially, you know them ones where sometimes
Jay's kitchen.
Great British Bake Off, you know. Great British Bake Off.
Angelo's Angels.
Let me clarify. Essentially, you know them ones where sometimes there's a lot on your mind. I used to hate washing the dishes until I was actually stressed on uni.
When things are on my mind, I love
so you wash the dishes.
And it just clears your mind. Because you're doing something else.
It's true.
And it's
menial. When you shower and it's therapeutic.
It's menial. Bro. Fam. It's menial things lift your mind. So
what's menial?
Cooking's menial. So when I
routine things, routine
or light things.
So the term
I'm start using my
podcast. A lot of times people say men should open up more because of the rate of suicide.
Nah, that's dead.
That's not
0.25% of men are killing themselves in the UK.
So in the comparison from men,
I personally wouldn't use that as a response.
That
wouldn't be my response.
No, because I hate you.
And you know why more men kill themselves? Because of the methodology.
Yeah, because it's more of
they're more aggressive. Men are stabbing, killing, shooting, jumping off stuff, jumping in front of stuff.
How women killing themselves or trying to
like pills,
substances.
So who has more attempted suicides?
Women.
So basically, what you're saying is,
according to American Psychological Association,
if both genders who both wanted to kill themselves,
it'll be women,
use the same methodology, more women will kill themselves.
But then some people argue. Is the methodology used does that infer that they're not as serious about the decision they're taking? So that's some degree. So obviously mine's not in that industry, so mine don't know, innit? But what I want to challenge you on your 0.25%, I do understand like we can't say like it's some epidemic, but I think can it be argued that could use it as a case study to show that this could be the potential root cause, because it's not I cannot say forget, but if you could push suicide to the side, one of my boys, he's a general practitioner now, he's no doctor, he's like every day men are coming into his practice and literally bursting into the tears because of the stresses of life of being that provider and also trying to maintain certain characteristics, even though it might not be them. I always say you could take 10 men, not all 10 will be alpha males. 2 of them might be naturally alpha males. 2 or 3 might be a little way more passive, and the rest are kind of situational. But maybe 7 out of 10 will try to behave in a certain manner. So he's always dealing with these men coming in and bursting to tears. Can we argue that if we're not allowing people to be comfortable with showing and open up this one form, that the root, the grave ending could potentially be that, because the issue is there. You could have to go all the way to suicide to see that. You could just see just in terms of the fact that men are unhappy.
So you're saying the result of not opening up could be suicide?
No, I'm not saying
not all opening up leads. No, not all not opening up leads to suicide. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Not all men.
No, you're right. No, you're right.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying that the open up argument could be saying that you're trying to make people more comfortable in understanding that life is tough and sometimes I can feel down.
So, and that's it.
Yeah, that's fine. But I think obviously there's a quantum leap to suicide. I like to use the suicide stats to show people that
it's not as deep as...
And also, men's life ain't as cushy to think about it, because this could be the potential end result. And even forget suicide, there's 75% of people who are homeless. Amen. 75%. 75%.
But then for those that say that we have enough, shouldn't our privilege stop that?
Yeah, but we're gonna discuss. We're gonna discuss that. we're gonna discuss that because I always
under the barber.
Yeah, because man's speaking in tongues, you know.
Careful now.
Because I always say when people say men are more privileged, I'm saying in what regards? And they're like, what are you talking about? Women, what regards? What is privilege? How do you measure it?